Alright. So, you see this October month for me, right? Me doing different stuff and doing some different review and having some interconnection this well. From sad songs to Christina Aguilera, and you had the preview. You had the preview from the last video, and that was artist development. I've seen this before in a video where a guy was talking about the reason why you see the music industry falling. And the one thing that he explained that was the reason was artist development. I'm just like, I agree with it. And it had to take me a minute because I am a person to be, alright, I have to know, I can sense when stuff's like, you're wrong about that, but I just can't explain it, or something sounds right, but I don't know how to explain it to the world. And that's where ChatGPT comes in. Yes, I use ChatGPT. And I had to get some questions of like, why did they stop developing artists to have some longevity? And the reason why that having really good artist development, ideally it sounds good. Ideally. But you are able to hear some of the corruptions of some of the things that people and artists have done, especially in the pop, hip hop, rock, all of that stuff of labels trying to put you in the box, but you're not a part of that box for real. And but that got you your screen time. But let's just talk about some of the things that really do benefits for having a really good artist development. And that is skills enhancement. Yes, you may be a creative, talented songwriter, vocal, singer, guitarist, blank and blank and blank, musical. You could be talented, musically inclined. Having some really good skills and getting some bouncy feedback of collaboration can really up your enhancing skills. It's just like, oh, I didn't think about writing in this way, but I can do it in this way and kind of give it to my own twist. It kind of boosts your creativity of like, ooh, I like this. Instead of having like, no, this is my way. I let it rest. Like, yeah, you had to have that. But at the same time, you had to have a little bit of open mind of like, I want to try that. I will try that. But in this case, I want to have it like this. And have that creativity going, having that like open mind to it. You see what I'm saying? You see what my brain is talking about when it comes to enhancing your skills? Of like, ooh, enhancing your songwriting skills, having your playing skills, your tone, having different vocal training, enhancing those skills. And the ideal with finding your identity, being your unique artist style. Yes, you can hear producer beats be like, oh, this is the beat of blank blank or such and such. Having that uniqueness kinda hits kind of a weird factor of, yeah, we need to find something that's unique to you, but we want control of what it is. This is what you really are. It has a very great factor to what I'm talking about. It kind of gives you that negativity, but at the same time, it's like, it can help you find your identity. I am talking about longevity here. Now, we have seen artists having 30 plus years into the music industry and having really good success and having
Sorry about that.
being named well known. And I think with the development of networking and building your brand with those things really do help with the longevity of having a really good successfulness. Maybe you won't be like this big top world person, but you may be a regional person of like, hey, we're gonna go to this person to get to such and such. So you're able to have longevity in the music, whether you're making music or helping making producing music. Kind of get it? Or composition, helping other people with composition, collaboration. I think I'm hitting my next video. Building your brand. You hear this one from social media, art influencers, different artists, art actors, actresses, all that stuff.
You gotta protect your brand.
Yes, you are a brand. You are your own brand whenever you're an artist of any sort. And it is really good to protect it because of if you're getting like brand deals or anything like that, because there's other things that you do need in the music is having brand deals of like, hey, I got a brand deal with Coke or with Pepsi, anything like that. Those are the things that you have to factor in. And you have to be cautious of too, because some brand companies may have a really bad reputation. We don't accept this kind of people into our lives, or we support the supremacy of certain skin color. Y'all seeing what I'm talking about? Yeah. So you don't want to be looped into that kind of deal. The engagements actually do help with like how you can helpfully engage with fans, brands, and just with other artists' relationships. So having really good engagements into music and just of different people of how to properly to engage. And I think that artist development really did help out with how to engage with negative feedback or dealing with such and such, or having a collaboration with X, Y, and Z artists. You see what I'm thinking of? These ideal things that are able to help develop this artist to have this longevity, the goal of it, and to make money. Yes, kind of having a really good recoup, getting a good being the green, as you may see from the background. And it does take a little bit of preparation, prep time, so that you are able to do really good interviews, either to speak with fans or market and network with people. Those things do need that adaptability, that like, hey, this is how we properly do with this person. Hey, be cautious of reading the room, prep time kind of deal, where you may be going to a informal show dig and you're a very formal person. And it kind of gives you that inauthenticity of a person. You're understanding? You see what the ideal good prep time really do help out with an artist and its development? It's almost like early childhood. But we ain't talking about that. And just give you that help with creativity. Sometimes you don't want to be in one genre the whole time. Maybe you want to be creative in a certain new genre, where you were probably into rock and you wanted to dabble with some film scores, or vice versa. You were doing film scores and you wanted to think music for certain artists. You want to make a beat for a different artist, produce different music. So you're trying to see the good, ideal thing of artist development. And this is where a lot of the stories that do come out about labels and other industries and all of its dark comings comes through. The biggest thing is greed. Really think about this. Think about it. There's a lot of greedy people. We have a greedy people. Any industry that you can think of outside of the entertainment industry, greed is there. Somewhat reason for the background. And there are some factors that they do have to think about. Financial risk. That is a huge factor. Because you could be this really dope artist, but you may not have some underrecruit thing. People just wasn't feeling your...
Just wasn't popular for that time.
Just wasn't feeling it. Just wasn't feeling your music, your style. So if they do put a lot of money into a certain artist, thinking that that's going to be the biggest hit since Michael Jackson, and they turn out to be
Recruit her support the artist. Know your budget.
Yeah. You're seeing it now. You're seeing this. I ain't talking about any certain artist. You don't get me wrong. I'm not talking about any artist. You're seeing it. You're seeing like the financial risk. That is a big factor that you do have to think about. Because you may have a really dope song, but it just may not just connect at that year frame. Immediate focus and profit. And this is my big issue. Because everyone is focused on first week sales over the replay value of the music, it do kind of hurt. Because you can see that, like, I made this. It's like a flag that you have to be like, oh, I did X amount in my first week. All that stuff. I made a profit. My streaming is high in this first day. What about the long term? What about that short term thing? And it kind of gives out just the data driven algorithm choice mixing in with that profit style. And it gives you like a short term, like, hey, that's a good idea. Using data driven stuff, having that immediate profit, but it's not good for the long term and showing when poorly developed artists do go through interviews and all that stuff, it just flats out. Labels would say that the rise of independent artists is coming a thing, which honestly, I'm be honest with y'all, independent artists is kind of one of you. Don't you think you want that goal for certain artists to be independent so that you're able to develop more artists? I mean, if you really think about it, if you really do develop an artist, have them, push them to go independent with their music, maybe cut a deal with some royalty from like the couple of albums that you made with them, and still have a good profit, because then you're able to have a nice number of people of quality artists that you're still making replay value to them in order to help out with their independence and have that like goal. See that goal, but that greed there. That greed is a factor. And if you do want to have that push of independence to artists that do give them a shorter life cycle in the label, and that's what has been the push. There's not a lot of artists as you can see from 2000s still making music or still have a name, like a respectable name into music. Hard to tell. Hard to see that. And because they do want to push this shorter life cycle for artists, then I believe that focus to develop them into an independent artist would be a really good thing to do. I could be wrong. Comment down below. With that being said, yeah, we do have a streaming thing. And the line of album-centric culture of having that album play a factor. I ain't gonna lie. I don't think recently having any songs that really do have an album like, oh, I'm gonna listen to this whole album A to B from top to bottom. And there's not a lot of artists. There's not a lot of albums that are doing that. Singles do play out. But I can kind of see a reason why it's not a good development. But sometimes even with the popular songs, you can still have like, oh, that was really popular. I don't think that is a really good reason why to stop developing artists in that way. Like those ideal things for an artist to develop them, if like the engagement, innovation do play a factor. And if you want to make them, to push them to independent, to have that short lifetime cycle, and that where they're making a profit, you may make a deal of cut with royalties and publishing and all that stuff, where you're not depending on one artist to hold your whole label together. You had multiple artists that you properly develop, and they're making success, but you're still having some residual to them. That's my idea. It may need some countering factors to work in or creative ways to it, but I'm open up for it. This is just my idea. This is just my 2 cents. It may work, it may not work, but I like to think of what you think in the comments down below. What can be improved of artist development, and how can we bring it back to certain artists and just really help with the longevity of really good quality music. That's all my goal is. Until next time, there's no preview for the next video. I don't know what the next video is going to be. I have a list, I just don't know which one it's going to be. Maybe when I'm editing, you will see the preview. Or it's been here the whole time.